The kill.php script is the script that, as I mentioned at the end of the last movie, is called when the user either wants to delete one of their own posts or they're a moderator and they want to delete a post, be it belonging to them or someone else, or it could even be a whole thread. First of all, the kill.php script starts a session, installs the functions that are stored within forum.inc, and then tests to make sure the user's logged in. If they are, then we connect to the database. And at this point, the script branches because there are two different paths that could be followed. First of which is if it's a post that the script is being called on to delete, in which case it's a simple matter of issuing an SQL query that deletes that one particular post with that post ID. And since the post ID is a unique primary key field, we can be sure that we're only deleting that one post. If, however, it's a thread that the script is being called on to delete, then there's an extra step to be carried out. First of all, the thread has to be deleted using a MySQL query, and then the posts that make up the thread also have to be deleted to save space on the database and to fully execute the action of deleting a thread. Even though they be inaccessible, there's no point deleting the thread if they're not saving the space. If, however, neither variable has been specified, then the page must have been reached by accident somehow, and so an error message is given and the user is bounced back to the main page. In main.php, I've added this JavaScript as part of the HTML that's echoed to the browser within a table. And this piece of JavaScript is set to an event on the submit button, I beg your pardon, on the delete hyperlink, which is right next to each of the threads on the main page if the user is logged as a moderator. This works in a very similar way to the JavaScript that is served up by post.php. However, this time the name of the user, the logged in user, is included as part of the JavaScript, so that when in our browser we go to delete one of the threads, the JavaScript prompt actually uses the name. Now, let's take a quick look at the source of this page. If we look right down to where the JavaScript is written, as we can see, there's nothing magic about this. The reason that JavaScript knew the registered session variable is that it's part of the whole page that has been posted to the browser by the server. This is another example of the ways in which client-side and server-side scripting can work together in harmony, very similarly to what we're using on the post.php page. So that sums up the kill.php script and the whole of this final project, and therefore the whole of this title, PHP. I hope you found it useful and that you continue to use PHP and learn more about PHP, and hopefully that at some point you find yourself in a position where you can give back to the PHP community. Whether this be through contributing to the open source project that is the ongoing creation of PHP, or whether it's simply by the shining examples that you will create of good PHP scripts.